Did you realize that this term moved so fast? Like within a twinkle of an eye, we are almost concluding the term and the year as well. Like that is mind blowing to me. Hi, my name is Akosia Safi and this is Teachers on Duty. Within a twinkle of an eye, 2023 is almost concluding. That is mind blowing. And this term also, it moved so fast. I feel like we started the term like days ago and already we are in the last week of the term. That is something else. But all the same, just like the term is ending and just like the year is ending, we are going to start a new year and a new term. If you are a newly posted teacher or a national service personnel, these are some of the things that I think you should keep in mind and, put inside your pocket before you step into your classrooms. The first thing I would like to touch on is that do not go to your class without preparing or writing your lesson notes. Do not. I'm serious. So I think there's been so many controversies about whether or not lesson preparation is important or not, and I think it is very, very important. You can either print it or you can either write it, and I prefer writing it because I feel the printout do not really take into consideration my learners' needs. It is more of I don't know how to put it, but it's like it does not really capture what my learners needs. It is not specifically directed to what my classroom, my learners needs. So I think you can either print it or write it, but I will advise you that you should write it, because when you do this, you are taking into consideration the learners in your classroom. Do you get it? You are taking into consideration the people that you are teaching and not a mass. Yes, so that is how I feel about this lesson preparation and all. But all the same, if you have a template on your laptop and you can type it, taking into consideration your learners in your classroom, then I think you are good to go. You can print it out or you can either write it. The next one is that you must always, not even a must, make sure you have mastery over your subjects or you have mastery over the content in which you are going to teach. I think it is so important. Like, you cannot even go to your class without having mastery over your subject matter. How do you expect to impact the knowledge that you are expected to impact if you do not have mastery, or if you don't know what the content is? You need to have mastery over the subject in which, or the topic in the strand in which you are going to teach. It is very, very important. If you don't show mastery over the subject, your learners are going to actually doubt if you know what you are even doing, or if you have any idea of what you are teaching or talking about. So it is very, very important that you have mastery over the subject before you step into your classroom. Also, be unique and have your own personal style of teaching. I think this comes with how you'd want your learners to understand their concept and then the knowledge in which you are impacting to them. There are so many styles of teaching and there are so many methods of teaching. I mean, you are newly posted teachers, so you already know these things. But then there should be some particular styles, or there should be one particular method that you are so confident in, that whenever you step into the classroom, your learners know you for. I am the type that likes using games, and that is something that my learners know by, they just know that anytime I come to the classroom, if I'm not going to use games to teach them, then maybe I'm going to use a lot of teaching and learning materials. I'm going to use a lot of gadgets, laptops, phones. So they know that is something that is, peculiar to me. So I think having your own personal style of teaching distinct you from other teachers, so your learners can identify that is how you teach, and it gives you some form of how do I put it? It just makes you unique amongst the crowd. So having your own personal style of teaching is very, very important. As time goes on, you develop. You have to explore all the teaching ideas, all the teaching methods, but then according to how your learners understand concepts, you have to pay attention to their needs before you can actually go ahead to use this personalized style of teaching. Make teaching and learning materials your best friends. Make them your best friends. I cannot emphasize this enough. Ever since I started my teaching profession, I have always kept this in mind from college, and it has really helped me. Anytime I step into the classroom, I make sure that I have something that is easing up my talking time, because as teachers, if you don't take care, you are going to lecture, and these kids do not need a lecture. In the basic level, primary level, they don't need lecture. They need something that is going to help them understand the concepts in which you are trying to impact. Especially when you find yourself in the rural areas, you need things that are going to help you. A subject like science, you always need something that is going to make the foundation of your of the knowledge that you are impacting very strong. So make sure you always have TLMs to ease up your talking time. They are going to help you to make the lesson and the knowledge that you're impacting easier to understand, and it's going to make your lesson more fun and more entertaining. And then make sure you are always mentally ready for the day. Like, be mentally ready for the day. These kids are going to drain you. They are going to drain you. Like, I always say that teachers underestimate how draining and how tiring this job is. Like, when you get home, you can feel like, yo, I'm tired. Because these kids feed on our energy. And I think I've said this before, the type of energy that you take to class, the type of emotion and the type of mental readiness you take to class will depict the type of day your students and you yourself are going to have. So make sure you are always mentally ready for the day. If you do not feel like, yo, today I don't feel like I can handle the day, just take the rest you need. Take the rest you need and prepare fully for the next day. I think that is going to help you. So make sure you are always mentally ready for the day. You are ready to meet your students. You are ready to impact the knowledge that you have prepared to impact to them, and you are ready to face the day head on. The next thing is that make sure you leave your emotions in your room before you step into your classroom. Because these kids are going to test you to your limits. They are going to test you to your limits. I'm telling you. Make sure you have the tolerance to accept and condone all forms of annoyance. It's not going to be easy. So before you step into your classroom, make sure you leave your emotions at home. If you are the type that easily gets angry, please, this job is not for you. You can't do it. I'm telling you. And sometimes it will not even be from the kids themselves, but it will be from the parents, from the community. Make sure you have that tolerating drive. Make sure you have that tolerating behavior to be able to tolerate all forms of annoyance and all anything that is being thrown at you. Make sure you have that tolerating behavior to be able to tolerate it. And also, you shouldn't be so quick to making certain decisions, because sometimes when you make those decisions, you sit back and realize that you should have handled it this way. So be slow to making certain decisions, especially when it is in connection with the parents, with the kids' behavior, and all sort of things that comes with their behavior and how to manage it. Make sure you are slow to making certain decisions on how to deal with it. I remember when I started my teaching profession, I was, just like you, I was a new recruit and I was teaching at Kwashiman, and I was so quick to everything that my students do in class. When I hear anyone making noise, keep quiet. My senses were all over the place. My eyes were all over the place. My mentor told me that you don't have to react to everything these kids are doing unless it has gotten to that extent where your assistance or your opinion is needed. Sometimes you just need to overlook certain things, because if you are going to react to everything in the classroom, you are definitely going to get high blood pressure. So yeah, another thing is that you should be able to tolerate all forms of annoyance, but then You don't have to react to everything that goes on in the classroom. Sometimes you just need to, overlook certain things. You don't have to tell them to keep quiet all the time. Sometimes allow them to feel free in their classroom. They need an environment where they can express themselves fully. If we are always trying to calm that level down, they don't get they are unable to fully express themselves when need be. So yeah, you don't have to react to everything. Know when to react to certain things and know when to just overlook it. Above all this, make sure you look good and have fun. Learning is not supposed to be scary. Learning is not supposed to be difficult. Learning is supposed to be fun. When your kids are having fun, they are learning. That is my slogan. You can coin yours. And this is what I always say. Learning is supposed to be fun. And if your learners are having fun, they are learning. So look good, dress well, like that's your office. Look good. Always make sure you are looking your best, because these kids are looking at you and they are learning from you. So if you go to class looking anyhow, they will also look anyhow. Trust me, they will also look anyhow, especially if you are teaching in the rural areas. Like, I think I've said this over and over again, but it's very important. The way you present yourself will also give your learners that idea of how you'd want them to also present themselves. So make sure you are always looking good and have fun. Enjoy your lesson, enjoy your students, let them have that type of fun learning feel. So these are some of the things that I think you should take into consideration before stepping into your classroom. I hope they be of help to you, and I hope you are able to take one or two things from it to attach the thing that you already know. As always, I am Akosia Safi, and this is Teachers on Duty. Do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe before you end this video. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until we meet again, bye.